Yeah, man, one. Yeah, man, read the news in a bit. I've just seen this thing here. Not that, man. Let me check it out. Elon Musk posted something. I made a video this morning and yesterday, speaking on this that the slave became the master of Philip Scott and Tariq Nasheed, and now Elon Musk thought, hey, I'ma use that because Caucasians never speak on this about their slave history. They wanna hide it, and now when it's convenient, Elon Musk is gonna come out and use this so-called black guy and to say more whites were brought as slaves to North Africa than blacks brought as slaves to the United States or to the 13 colonies from which it was formed. White slaves were still being bought and sold in the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, decades after blacks were freed in the United States. Thomas Sowell. Whatever, this is an old story, but when you used to tell these stories, they used to say it's a conspiracy, it's not true, they've always been kings and whatever. And I've told these stories many times, and it thought was a joke. And we don't feel no sympathy, I think, for a story that we cannot confirm. So we don't know any longer if this is true. When people used to speak on it, about the Moorish Empire and all those stuff, nobody wanted to hear it. Now these days, everybody has become a priest, and they are all walking around with ankhs and so-called crosses and magandafi and whatever. Yeah, whatever, man. So everybody is the victim now, just like the video I was making about Tariq Nasheed and his ancestors fighting against my people in the jungle in South America. He was on the plantation with the colonizer in their army, he and Philip Scott, and now that's why they make the kind of videos they make. Yeah, it's in their blood, it's their ancestry, it's nothing new. Yeah, that's the real talk. And so this Elon Musk, everybody is now a victim, whatever. I'ma leave it at that with this and move to reading the news, man. I'ma read the news. Yeah, my own news that I've picked out for today and then leave it at that. So even Elon Musk was enslaved now, man. When he enslaved the people in South Africa, stealing the land, saying he's Afrikaner. Now he is the victim. These people, man, I told you they are just like the black American. You seen it. You see, go to the internet, see what the black Americans are doing on TikTok, attacking Caribbeans and so-called continental Africans, and then making videos. They hate us. Everybody hates evil, so of course they hate you. If you are the devil. Hate the evil, it says in your Bible. Oh yeah, you had a slave Bible. And I am somebody. Philip Scott. As I say that, maybe you now understand. I am somebody. Yeah? African American. I am somebody. Two strikes in a day, bam bam. That's how quick my God works, nigga. Real talk. And I'ma leave it at that, because if you have a single brain cell in between your ears, you've already understood what I'm talking about. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed and you bug broken crew. You all are Elon Musk. You are enslavers, black colonizers who is going around looking for sympathy. Yeah, looking for sympathy when you are the enslaver of history, together with your father, the colonizer on the plantation over there. But anyways, you've seen it, and now Elon Musk is saying the Turkish people had these people in in slavery. Elon Musk said the Turkish people, the Ottoman Empire, had his people in slavery before they enslaved the Africans. Yeah, okay, man. Everybody was a victim. Elon Musk was a victim of slavery. Can you believe it? Elon Musk? Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, let's leave it at that. I'm gonna read the news and then leave it at that. You've seen it, man. A lot of many people who will see this will go and make a video about it because that is almost ridiculous. Nobody is speaking on this any longer. When I was speaking, and many people who are making videos about the Moorish Empire. That's why I was cussing even these black Americans out for stealing the history of the Moorish Empire. And now Elon Musk wanna come and speak about the Ottoman Empire and the Umayyad story and whatever, man. Everybody is now a victim. Yeah, right. That's somebody already said it, that if you check the media, what the media does is to take the a victim and portray the victim as the one who committed the crime, as the criminal. And that's what Elon Musk is almost doing. He not almost. That's what he's doing. His people enslaved the so-called Africans in South Africa for 400 years, and now he's saying, and he also was a victim of slavery. Yeah, whatever, man. I'ma read the news and leave it at that, Lotus, man.
R. Kelly under investigation for possessing retired warden's phone number. He's been placed in isolation for the duration of a probe, his lawyer says. The R&B singer's troubles began with a mentor program at the prison.
R. Kelly under investigation for possessing retired warden's phone number at federal prison. R. Kelly is under investigation after prison officials discovered that he possessed the personal phone number of a retired warden at his federal lockup in North Carolina. According to statements from his lawyer, the R&B singer has been placed in isolation while authorities examine the circumstances surrounding the incident. Kelly's attorney, Bob Brinley, told TMZ that the issue arose from the singer's participation in a mentor program at FCI Butner Medium 1, designed to provide guidance to other inmates. The program was overseen by the facility's warden, who retired recently. Prior to his departure, the warden reportedly provided Kelly with his personal mobile phone number, allowing the inmate to contact him if necessary for advice related to the mentor program. The situation came to light after Kelly's cellmate was found in possession of a mobile phone, which is considered contraband under federal prison rules. Following the discovery, prison officials conducted a search of the shared cell. During the search, authorities reportedly found a notebook belonging to Kelly containing the retired warden's phone number. Brinley stated that Kelly has been placed in the Special Housing Unit, commonly referred to as the SHU, while the Bureau of Prisons investigates the circumstances surrounding the presence of the warden's contact information. He emphasized that the phone number had been provided as part of the mentor program, suggesting that Kelly did not possess it for illicit purposes. A representative for the Federal Bureau of Prisons declined to comment on the specifics of Kelly's confinement, citing privacy, safety, and security considerations. For privacy, safety, and security reasons, we do not discuss the conditions of confinement or internal security procedures for any inmate or group of inmates, the spokesperson said. Kelly, who is serving multiple federal sentences, has a long history of convictions related to sexual abuse and exploitation. In 2021, he was convicted in New York on charges including racketeering, bribery, and illegal sexual activity with minors, resulting in a 30-year prison sentence. The following year, he was convicted in Chicago on federal charges of producing child pornography and enticing a minor to engage in sexual activity, receiving an additional 20-year sentence. The current investigation highlights the strict regulations governing communication and possession of contraband in federal correctional facilities. Inmates are prohibited from possessing mobile phones, and even the presence of contact information for a former official can raise concerns among prison authorities. The investigation is ongoing, and Kelly remains in isolation while officials review the circumstances. The mentor program at FCI Butner Medium 1, in which Kelly participated, was designed to allow experienced inmates to provide guidance and support to others within the facility. Such programs are often intended to encourage rehabilitation and leadership skills among participants. According to Brinley, the warden had authorized Kelly to maintain contact with him, providing a direct line of communication for guidance related to the program's activities. Federal correctional facilities routinely enforce strict rules regarding unauthorized communication. While the warden's provision of his personal number may have been intended to facilitate legitimate program participation, authorities are examining whether its presence in Kelly's notebook violated federal prison rules. The discovery of a contraband phone in the same cell prompted heightened scrutiny and the placement of Kelly in the SHU, a secure unit used to manage disciplinary or security-related concerns. Prison authorities have emphasized that the investigation is standard procedure when potential violations of security protocols are identified. Inmates in the SHU are typically confined separately from the general population while officials review allegations or conduct internal inquiries. Placement in the unit does not necessarily indicate guilt, but it allows authorities to control access and maintain security while the matter is being investigated. Kelly's legal team has stressed that the singer's involvement in the mentor program was legitimate, and that possession of the warden's phone number was authorized prior to the official's retirement. Brindley has indicated that Kelly did not use the number to circumvent prison rules or for illicit purposes, and that the investigation will likely confirm the context of the communication. This latest development comes as part of Kelly's ongoing time in federal custody, where he is serving consecutive sentences totaling 50 years for federal sexual offenses. His cases have drawn extensive media attention over the years, particularly given his status as a high-profile entertainer and the severity of his convictions. The use of mentor programs and other rehabilitative initiatives within federal prisons is intended to provide structured support for inmates and encourage positive engagement with peers. Participants in such programs are generally expected to follow strict guidelines, and communication with staff or former officials is typically monitored to ensure compliance with institutional rules. Kelly's participation in the program suggests an attempt to engage constructively while in custody, although the presence of the warden's phone number has triggered a formal review. Prison officials have emphasized that contraband investigations are routine and can involve a wide range of items, from mobile phones and electronic devices to unauthorized documents or communications. Inmates found to possess prohibited materials may face disciplinary action, including confinement in secure units such as the SHU, pending the outcome of an investigation. Legal experts have noted that while possessing the warden's personal number may appear unusual, the context provided by Kelly's lawyer could mitigate the perceived severity of the violation. Documentation of authorized communications or program participation is often reviewed in disciplinary proceedings, and the presence of corroborating evidence may influence the final outcome of the investigation. As the investigation proceeds, Kelly remains in isolation at FCI Butner Medium 1. Officials have not released further details regarding potential disciplinary measures or the expected timeline for the review. The Bureau of Prisons statement underscores the agency's focus on maintaining security and protecting the safety of both inmates and staff. In summary, R. Kelly is being investigated after prison officials found that he possessed a retired warden's personal phone number, provided to him as part of a mentor program at FCI Butner Medium 1. The discovery followed a separate incident in which his cellmate was found with a mobile phone, prompting a search that revealed the notebook containing the number. Kelly has been placed in the special housing unit while the circumstances are reviewed. His attorney has emphasized that the number was given for legitimate purposes, and that Kelly did not use it to break prison rules. The incident highlights the strict regulations governing communication and contraband in federal correctional facilities, as well as the procedures in place to ensure the safety and security of both inmates and staff. Kelly continues to serve multiple federal sentences for sexual offenses, and the current investigation adds another chapter to his time in custody. Officials have confirmed that the review is ongoing, with no additional information released regarding potential disciplinary outcomes. My next news is:
Boxing legends Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are far from their primes, but now it appears they'll face off in a fascinating showdown. This fight is going to be huge in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a battle of size versus speed.
Hello, I am Remi Jurmain Djalis, and this is my news of today. Global international news. Starting with Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. What we know about the upcoming fight. Boxing fans around the world are buzzing with anticipation as news emerges of a potential matchup between two of the sport's most celebrated figures, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. While both fighters are far removed from their athletic primes, the idea of them stepping into the ring together has captured global attention. This confrontation promises to be a fascinating test of contrasting styles, pitting Tyson's legendary power against Mayweather's unparalleled speed and technical precision. According to multiple reports, including coverage by The Ring, the fight is scheduled for April 25th in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The chosen venue carries historical significance, as it is the very location where Muhammad Ali and George Foreman faced off in the iconic Rumble in the Jungle in 1974. That fight remains one of the most famous bouts in boxing history, and the choice of location for Tyson and Mayweather adds an extra layer of drama and nostalgia for fans of the sport. Mike Tyson, who is 59 years old, is no stranger to the spotlight in recent years. His most notable return to the ring came in November 2024, when he faced off against influencer-turned-boxer Jake Paul. That highly publicized match drew over 100 million viewers to Netflix's fledgling live sports platform. The fight concluded with Paul securing a unanimous decision victory, a result that sparked debate among fans and analysts about Tyson's current abilities and whether the legendary former heavyweight champion could still compete at the highest level. Despite the loss, Tyson's participation in the bout demonstrated his continued relevance in boxing and pop culture alike. Floyd Mayweather Jr., on the other hand, is a former champion whose career is defined by an extraordinary defensive skill set and technical mastery. At 48 years old, Mayweather has long retired from professional competition, but he remains a figure who commands enormous attention whenever he returns to the ring. Prior to the Tyson fight, Mayweather was reportedly in discussions for a rematch with Manny Pacquiao, a confrontation that would have rekindled one of boxing's most famous rivalries. However, those plans appear to have been set aside in favor of the new matchup with Tyson, a decision that has generated considerable interest and speculation about how the fight will unfold. One of the most significant challenges in arranging this fight lies in the dramatic difference in size between the two fighters. Tyson spent his entire professional career as a heavyweight, a division characterized by tremendous power and imposing physiques. Mayweather, by contrast, reached his highest competitive weight at 154 pounds, making him a light middleweight at his peak. Establishing an appropriate weight limit for this exhibition will require careful negotiation, as it is unlikely that the two men could face one another on equal footing without modifications. How the promoters manage this issue will be critical to ensuring a fight that is both entertaining and somewhat competitive. While critics have raised questions about the quality of a fight between two aging legends, the spectacle alone is expected to draw global attention. Tyson and Mayweather are not only skilled athletes but also cultural icons whose careers have transcended the sport of boxing. Tyson's combination of ferocity and charisma, coupled with Mayweather's precision, agility, and business acumen, ensures that this event will be more than just a contest of fists. It will be a showcase of personalities, history, and the enduring appeal of boxing as a form of entertainment. The public's fascination with the fight is fueled in part by the novelty of seeing two of boxing's most distinctive figures sharing the same ring. Tyson's legendary aggression and knockout power have made him a household name for decades, while Mayweather's unmatched defensive skills and unbeaten record have earned him widespread acclaim and financial success. The contrast between the two styles is stark. Tyson relies on raw physical strength and intimidation, while Mayweather excels at reading opponents, avoiding punches, and exploiting openings with surgical precision. Fans are eager to see how these contrasting approaches will interact in a controlled exhibition environment. Beyond the technical considerations, the fight represents a broader cultural moment for boxing. The choice of the Democratic Republic of the Congo as a venue evokes the rich history of the sport, connecting contemporary boxing to its storied past. The Rumble in the Jungle remains an enduring symbol of athletic achievement, political significance, and global spectacle. By revisiting this historic location, Tyson and Mayweather are not merely participating in an exhibition. They are engaging in a cultural dialogue that celebrates the sport's legacy and the global impact of its most legendary figures. Financial considerations are also likely to play a central role in the promotion of the fight. Both Tyson and Mayweather have a history of participating in lucrative exhibition matches and high-profile events. Mayweather, in particular, has built a reputation for maximizing earnings through careful fight selection, brand partnerships, and strategic promotion. Tyson, meanwhile, has leveraged his fame in both athletic and entertainment spheres, ensuring that any return to the ring generates significant media attention and financial reward. For the organizers, the combination of these two personalities promises substantial revenue potential through pay-per-view sales, sponsorship deals, and live event attendance. Another point of interest is the potential audience for the fight. The global fascination with boxing extends beyond traditional fans, encompassing casual viewers who are drawn to the spectacle, drama, and star power of the participants. Tyson and Mayweather both have substantial followings on social media and in popular culture, ensuring that interest in the fight will be broad and diverse. The previous success of Tyson's match against Jake Paul demonstrated that even unconventional pairings can draw massive viewership, suggesting that a fight against Mayweather could surpass those numbers. The fight also raises questions about the physical preparedness and health of both athletes. While exhibition matches typically carry fewer risks than competitive bouts, boxing remains a physically demanding and potentially dangerous sport. At 59, Tyson's conditioning and ability to absorb punishment will be closely scrutinized, just as Mayweather's speed and stamina will be tested at 48. Training regimens, medical clearances, and safety protocols will be critical to ensuring that the fight proceeds without major incidents, and fans will be watching closely to see how each fighter adapts to the demands of the ring. Media coverage and fan speculation are already building in anticipation of the fight. News outlets and social media platforms are abuzz with predictions, analysis, and debates about who might have the upper hand. Some argue that Tyson's sheer size and experience in heavyweight competition give him a decisive advantage, while others contend that Mayweather's technical mastery, defensive skill, and speed could offset any disadvantage in power. Regardless of predictions, the fight is guaranteed to capture attention because of the reputations of the participants and the symbolic weight of their meeting. Promotional strategies for the fight are expected to be extensive. Press conferences, interviews, and public appearances are likely to generate excitement and engagement among fans worldwide. Given the fighter's past experiences with media and public attention, the lead-up to the bout will likely be as dramatic and engaging as the fight itself. Social media campaigns and digital content will play a crucial role in reaching a global audience, ensuring that the fight resonates with viewers far beyond the traditional boxing community. In addition to its entertainment value, the fight serves as a reflection of how the sport of boxing continues to evolve. Exhibition matches, celebrity bouts, and cross-generational confrontations have become increasingly common, highlighting the ways in which boxing adapts to contemporary entertainment demands. Tyson versus Mayweather represents a confluence of these trends. A historic venue, legendary fighters, contrasting styles, and the appeal of a global spectacle. It underscores the continued relevance of boxing in the 21st century and its ability to captivate audiences across generations. In conclusion, the upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is shaping up to be a historic event in both boxing and popular culture. Scheduled for April 25th in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the fight promises to be a fascinating clash of styles, size, and skill. Tyson's power and presence, combined with Mayweather's speed and technical prowess, ensure that the spectacle will be compelling regardless of the outcome. While questions remain about weight, competitiveness, and the fighter's physical readiness, the allure of seeing two iconic figures share the ring is undeniable. For fans of boxing, sports history, and global spectacle, Tyson vs. Mayweather offers a rare opportunity to witness a meeting of legends. It is more than just an exhibition. It is a cultural event that bridges generations, celebrates the sport's legacy, and reminds the world of the enduring fascination with boxing. As the fight approaches, anticipation will continue to build, and the world will be watching to see how two of the greatest names in the sport perform, interact, and leave their mark on boxing history once again. Regardless of the final result, this matchup is guaranteed to be remembered as a moment when size, speed, and legend collided in the ring. My next news is,
I have to tell you, it's unbelievable. Jeffrey Epstein not only knew Bill Gates, he was advising him on how to short Tesla stock. Can you believe that?
Elon Musk alleges Jeffrey Epstein influenced Bill Gates to short Tesla. Elon Musk has alleged that Jeffrey Epstein orchestrated a campaign to short Tesla and persuaded Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates to take a 1% short position in the company when its market capitalization stood at approximately $40 billion. The claim comes in the wake of the recent release by the U.S. Department of Justice of roughly 3 million pages of records relating to Epstein, which mentions several high-profile figures, including Musk and Gates. The newly released documents, viewed by Cryptopolitan, include email exchanges between Musk and Epstein dating back to 2012 and 2013. The correspondence appears to contradict Musk's previous assertions that he did not know Epstein well, although some parts of the files appear to favor him. The emails show that by 2014, SpaceX servers had begun rejecting messages from Epstein, suggesting that Musk had limited contact with the financier. Musk later confirmed on social media platform X that he had cut off communication. In response to a post highlighting Epstein's attempts to make contact, Musk wrote, "Yup. That really made him upset. After I ghosted him, Epstein went on a massive campaign to short Tesla and got Gates to short 1% of Tesla stock. Musk has repeatedly drawn attention to the alleged 1% short position, claiming that Gates has maintained it against Tesla's total shares outstanding for the past 8 years. Musk further commented that the short position may have cost Gates billions of dollars. In December, he claimed that the arrangement had resulted in losses of as much as $10 billion, as Tesla's share price soared over the past several years. Tesla shares recently closed at $417.44, marking a 17% increase over the past year and more than 100% growth over the past 3 years. Several institutional investors have adjusted their positions in Tesla during this period. Vanguard Group increased its stake in the company by 0.4% during the third quarter. Geode Capital Management grew its holdings by 2% in the second quarter, while Norges Bank purchased a new position in Tesla valued at nearly $12 billion during the same period. Legal & General Group increased its Tesla stake by 5.9%, and Amundi boosted its holdings by over 20% in the second quarter. Analysts remain divided on Tesla's prospects. Tiger's financial analyst Ivan Feinseth initiated coverage with a buy rating and a $550 price target, implying an upside potential of 31%. Conversely, Morgan Stanley analyst Andrew Percoco maintained a hold rating with a $415 target, suggesting the stock is fairly valued at current levels. The Department of Justice documents also revealed that Epstein was involved with Tesla's corporate strategy in 2018. At that time, Musk had publicly tweeted that he was considering taking Tesla private at $420 per share, a move that ultimately did not occur. According to the files, one of Musk's surrogates contacted Epstein for advice on financing the deal and potential board members for a restructured Tesla. They also exchanged communications regarding Musk's leadership qualities. 2018 was a challenging year for Musk. Both Tesla and SpaceX faced operational hurdles, and Musk's behavior on social media drew increasing scrutiny, raising concerns about its impact on his public image and the company's performance. During this period, Musk sought guidance from Juliana Glover, a former lobbyist and corporate consultant. Glover acted as a backchannel between Musk and Epstein, exploring ways to make the proposed privatization a reality. The plan to take Tesla private was also referenced in Musk's now infamous tweet in August 2018, in which he stated, "I am considering taking Tesla private at $420. The post sparked controversy because Musk had not secured the necessary funding for such a move. In response, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed charges against Musk on September 27, alleging securities fraud for a series of false and misleading tweets. Musk settled the case, paying a $20 million fine, with Tesla paying an equal penalty. He also stepped down as Tesla's chairman for a period, though he remains CEO. The released emails provide additional context on Epstein's advisory role, suggesting that Musk and his team sought the financier's input on strategic and financial matters. While the correspondence does not indicate illegal activity on Epstein's part, it underscores his involvement with prominent corporate figures and the reach of his influence. Musk has repeatedly emphasized that he ceased communications with Epstein, and that SpaceX servers had blocked the financier's messages by 2014. Musk's claims regarding Gates' short position have reignited debate over Epstein's influence in business circles. The allegation that Epstein persuaded Gates to short Tesla highlights the intersection of high finance, technology, and Epstein's extensive social network. While Gates has not publicly commented on the specific allegations, Musk's statements suggest that the supposed short position has persisted for several years, potentially resulting in significant financial losses as Tesla stock appreciated. The broader release of the Epstein files has implicated a number of billionaires and influential figures across various sectors. The documents, spanning millions of pages, include emails, financial records, and communications revealing Epstein's connections to business, entertainment, and scientific communities. While inclusion in the files does not imply wrongdoing, the material has prompted intense media scrutiny and congressional interest. Musk's public statements also reflect his ongoing interest in clarifying his interactions with Epstein. By sharing details of his alleged experience with the financier, Musk has sought to distinguish himself from Epstein's network while highlighting the purported impact of Epstein's actions on Tesla and its stakeholders. The revelations about Epstein's purported influence on Gates' investment decisions and his advisory role regarding Tesla's privatization illustrate the extent to which Epstein cultivated relationships with high-profile individuals. While there is no evidence that Epstein's involvement directly violated securities laws or other regulations, the correspondence adds to the picture of a man who actively engaged with leading figures in business and technology. In conclusion, Elon Musk has alleged that Jeffrey Epstein conducted a campaign to short Tesla and encouraged Bill Gates to hold a 1% short position in the company. The claim emerges amid the release of millions of pages of DOJ records detailing Epstein's interactions with a wide network of prominent individuals. The documents also suggest that Epstein provided advisory input on Tesla's corporate strategy during Musk's proposed privatization efforts in 2018. While the claims do not constitute proof of illegal activity by Epstein, Gates, or Musk, they illustrate the influence Epstein exerted on prominent business leaders and the enduring interest in his relationships with high-profile figures. As the Epstein files continue to be analyzed, the public and media are closely monitoring the implications for the business community and the reputations of those named in the documents. Musk's comments have already reignited discussions about Tesla, Gates, and the broader network of individuals connected to Epstein, highlighting the complex intersection of finance, technology, and personal relationships within the context of the disgraced financier's activities. My next news is
OKHANO Media presents new details from the Epstein files. ALs reveal he kept toxic zombie plants to make a drug-blocking free will. This raises urgent questions about hidden dangers.
Jeffrey Epstein emails suggest he collected toxic zombie drug plants, documents reveal. Newly released documents from the Jeffrey Epstein files suggest that the late financier may have maintained a collection of highly poisonous plants capable of producing a drug known to impair free will in humans. The emails, discovered in the most recent batch of documents made public by the Department of Justice, reference Epstein's interest in Angel's trumpet plants, which are known to contain scopolamine, a potent psychoactive compound. In one message, Epstein inquired about his trumpet plants at nursery, raising questions about the nature of his interest and potential awareness of the plant's toxic effects. Angel's trumpet plants are notoriously dangerous, and scopolamine, the substance they produce, has been reported to erase memory, impair judgment, and render individuals unusually compliant. Severe intoxication may even lead to paralysis or death. Toxicology tests reportedly do not reliably detect scopolamine, heightening concerns about its potential misuse. Epstein's apparent knowledge of the plant's properties is underscored by another email in which he received an article outlining scopolimine's effects. The document suggests that Epstein may have been aware of the drug's ability to influence human behavior, although investigators have not drawn firm conclusions about any criminal application. The release of these emails comes amid the ongoing public scrutiny of Epstein's activities following his death in a New York jail cell in August 2019. Epstein had been awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges at the time, and his death sparked widespread controversy and speculation. Congressional lawmakers voted last year to compel the Department of Justice to make the Epstein files public, citing the public interest in understanding the scope of his criminal network and the activities of those connected to him. The Department of Justice has released the documents in several batches, with the most recent installment appearing last month. Officials have indicated that no further releases are expected. The files, spanning thousands of pages, contain communications with a wide array of high-profile figures from business, entertainment, science, and academia, many of whom were identified as associates or acquaintances of Epstein. None of these individuals have been formally charged in connection with Epstein's crimes, but their inclusion in the documents has prompted intense media scrutiny. Angel's trumpet plants, also known as Brugmansia, contain scopolamine in concentrations that vary depending on environmental factors and cultivation methods. The drug has gained a reputation in popular media as a zombie drug, due to its purported ability to override free will and induce compliance in those exposed. Reports indicate that even a small dose can have profound psychological effects, including confusion, amnesia, and a heightened susceptibility to suggestion. Severe cases of intoxication can cause respiratory depression, paralysis, and, in extreme instances, death. The chemical's capacity to evade standard toxicology tests adds to its notoriety. The revelation of Epstein's interest in Angel's trumpet plants has renewed discussion about his unusual personal habits and the breadth of his criminal enterprise. While the discovery of the emails does not constitute direct evidence of a criminal application, investigators and observers have noted that the combination of Epstein's wealth, access to high-profile individuals, and apparent knowledge of dangerous substances warrants careful examination. In addition to the plant-related emails, the broader Epstein files contain extensive records documenting his social connections and interactions with public figures. One recent development involved Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted associate, who invoked the Fifth Amendment during a deposition before the House Oversight Committee. Maxwell declined to answer questions about former President Donald Trump's association with Epstein. Trump has not been accused of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein and has denied involvement in the financier's illegal activities. The Epstein files provide insight into the scale of Epstein's network, detailing relationships with dozens of influential individuals. The documents include emails, internal communications, and other material that shed light on the social and professional circles surrounding Epstein. Investigators have emphasized that inclusion in the files does not imply criminal behavior, but the correspondence has nevertheless generated significant media attention and public speculation. Epstein's death while in federal custody marked the end of a high-profile criminal case and left many questions unanswered. The subsequent release of the Epstein files aims to provide transparency, satisfy congressional oversight requirements, and inform the public about the nature of Epstein's activities. The documents offer a rare glimpse into the operations, communications, and interests of a man whose actions had far-reaching legal, social, and ethical implications. The emails referencing Angel's trumpet plants have prompted renewed interest in the potential for unconventional substances to be used in coercive contexts. Scopolamine, sometimes referred to as devil's breath in popular literature, has been the subject of research and reporting regarding its effects on human cognition and behavior. While anecdotal reports have often exaggerated its capabilities, scientific studies confirm that the substance can induce drowsiness, confusion, and susceptibility to suggestion, particularly in high doses. Epstein's attention to such plants raises questions about his curiosity in controlling or influencing others, even if no direct evidence of misuse has emerged. Lawmakers and advocates for victims of Epstein's crimes have continued to call for full transparency in the release of documents. While the Department of Justice maintains that all legally required files have been disclosed, critics argue that additional internal records and communications may provide further context regarding the handling of Epstein's case, as well as the activities of his associates. The public reaction to the recently released documents underscores the enduring fascination and concern surrounding Epstein's criminal enterprise. The combination of wealth, social influence, and apparent access to potentially harmful substances has reinforced perceptions of Epstein as a uniquely dangerous and secretive figure. The emails referencing Angel's trumpet plants contribute to a broader narrative that highlights both the unconventional aspects of Epstein's lifestyle and the potential risks posed to those within his orbit. While the DOJ has stated that no further batches of files are expected, researchers, journalists, and lawmakers continue to analyze the material to uncover any additional insights. The documents may influence ongoing investigations, provide context for congressional inquiries, and contribute to historical understanding of the events leading up to Epstein's arrest and death. The revelation of Epstein's interest in toxic plants also underscores the challenges faced by authorities in evaluating potential threats posed by unconventional substances. Scopolamine's effects are not widely understood by the general public, and its ability to evade standard detection methods complicates efforts to assess the risk to individuals potentially exposed. As a result, the correspondence in the Epstein files has renewed conversations about both the unusual nature of Epstein's personal interests and the broader implications for criminal investigation and public safety. In conclusion, newly discovered emails in the Epstein files suggest that Jeffrey Epstein maintained a collection of Angel's trumpet plants, which produce scopolamine, a substance capable of impairing memory and free will. While the documents do not establish criminal misuse of the plants, they add another layer to the public understanding of Epstein's unconventional interests and lifestyle. The broader release of the Epstein files has already revealed extensive connections between Epstein and a wide network of influential figures, highlighting the need for continued scrutiny and transparency. As lawmakers, investigators, and journalists examine the documents, Epstein's legacy of secrecy, manipulation, and criminal behavior continues to generate significant concern and public attention. My next news is
the Trump administration is engaged in a cover-up of the Epstein files. This is unacceptable and demands full transparency.
Hillary Clinton accuses Trump administration of Epstein files cover-up in Berlin interview. Hillary Clinton has accused the Trump administration of a cover-up regarding its handling of files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Speaking to the BBC in Berlin during the annual World Forum, the former U.S. Secretary of State called for the immediate release of documents she said were being slow-walked by the Department of Justice. Get the files out. They are slow-walking it, Clinton said, highlighting her concerns over transparency in the investigation and public access to material linked to Epstein. She added that all individuals asked to testify before congressional committees should do so, referencing the ongoing scrutiny of figures connected to Epstein, including Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Duke of York. The White House responded to the remarks by insisting that, through the release of thousands of pages of documents in cooperation with congressional subpoenas, the administration had done more for the victims than Democrats ever have. The spokesperson emphasized that the administration had acted promptly in releasing material following the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Earlier this month, millions of pages of new files relating to Epstein were made public by the U.S. Department of Justice. The release followed legislation passed by Congress requiring the agency to make material from its investigations accessible to the public. However, some lawmakers have expressed dissatisfaction with the breadth of the release, calling for additional internal memos and decision-making documents regarding past determinations on whether to prosecute Epstein and his associates. Kentucky Republican Representative Thomas Massie, a co-author of the Transparency Law, stated that the DOJ's current release is incomplete. He urged the department to provide memos and internal correspondence detailing the reasoning behind prosecutorial decisions. Such material, he argued, is critical to fully understanding the handling of the Epstein case. Epstein, who faced accusations of sex trafficking, died in a New York prison cell on August 10, 2019 while awaiting trial without the possibility of bail. His death came more than a decade after he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor, for which he was required to register as a sex offender. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has faced growing pressure from U.S. officials and the family of his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, to testify before the House Oversight Committee about his relationship with Epstein. Andrew has consistently denied wrongdoing and in 2022 reached an out-of-court settlement with Giuffre. The settlement included no admission of liability. Giuffre died by suicide in 2025. Clinton also addressed the inclusion of her family in the Epstein files. She and former President Bill Clinton are mentioned several times in the documents, although neither has been accused of wrongdoing by survivors of Epstein's abuse. Both have repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's illegal activities at the time. The former Secretary of State confirmed that she and her husband are due to appear before the Congressional Committee, with Bill Clinton scheduled for 27 February and Hillary Clinton the day prior. Earlier plans to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress were shelved after they agreed to testify. If the hearings proceed as scheduled, it will mark the first time a former U.S. president has testified before Congress since Gerald Ford did so in 1983. The Clintons have called for the hearings to be public rather than conducted in a closed-door setting. We will show up, but we think it would be better to have it in public, Hillary Clinton told the BBC. She added that transparency is essential, emphasizing that the release of files should be complete and accessible to ensure accountability. Republican Committee Chair James Comer had previously accused the Clintons of delaying the process, claiming that the pair caved as a contempt vote loomed. Hillary Clinton, however, insisted on equal treatment for all. "I just want it to be fair," she said. "I want everybody treated the same way. We have nothing to hide. We have called for the full release of these files repeatedly. We think sunlight is the best disinfectant." Clinton suggested that she and her husband are being used as a distraction from other issues. "Look at this shiny object. We're gonna have the Clintons, even Hillary Clinton, who never met the guy, she said, referring to Epstein. She also acknowledged that she had met Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted associate, on a few occasions. The Epstein files also contain numerous references to former President Donald Trump. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein, and has not been accused of any criminal acts by Epstein's victims. The Department of Justice has previously stated that some documents include untrue and sensationalist claims against Trump, submitted to the FBI shortly before the 2020 presidential election. The department emphasized that these allegations are unfounded and, if credible, would have already been used against Trump politically. The White House reiterated its position, stating that by releasing thousands of pages of documents, complying with congressional subpoenas, and calling for further investigations into Epstein's associates linked to the Democratic Party, the Trump administration had acted in the interest of victims. The statement claimed that these actions had gone further than previous efforts by Democrats. The question of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's testimony remains contentious. Clinton emphasized that appearing in the files does not indicate wrongdoing and stressed that anyone asked to testify should comply. The former Secretary of State's stance reflects broader calls for accountability and transparency, ensuring that all individuals mentioned in connection with Epstein are subject to appropriate oversight. Hillary Clinton's criticism of the Trump administration highlights the ongoing political tensions surrounding the handling of Epstein-related material. While the DOJ maintains that all required documents have been released, lawmakers and public figures continue to call for additional disclosures, including internal memos and communications. These materials could provide context for prosecutorial decisions, shedding light on how past authorities handled Epstein and his network. For Clinton and her husband, the hearings represent an opportunity to address public concerns directly. Both have expressed a desire for the proceedings to be transparent, providing clarity about their involvement, if any, and advocating for full disclosure of the files. Their participation is expected to draw significant media attention, given the unprecedented nature of former presidents and first ladies testifying before Congress. Epstein's death in 2019 left many unanswered questions about his activities, his associates, and the broader implications of his network. Congressional oversight and public scrutiny aim to ensure that justice is served and that information previously withheld is made accessible. The involvement of high-profile figures like the Clintons and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has intensified public interest in the investigation, underscoring the political and social significance of the case. In her BBC interview, Clinton framed the issue as one of accountability and transparency rather than personal defense. She reiterated the importance of equal treatment under the law, highlighting her call for the full release of documents and public hearings. Her comments also reflected concerns that political motivations may influence the handling of sensitive information, diverting attention from the needs of Epstein's victims and the broader pursuit of justice. As the hearings approach, the public and media are expected to scrutinize both the released documents and the testimonies of key figures. Hillary Clinton's remarks indicate a commitment to transparency and fairness, while also drawing attention to potential discrepancies in the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein files. The outcome of these hearings could have far-reaching implications, not only for individuals mentioned in the documents but also for public confidence in governmental oversight and the justice system's response to high-profile criminal networks. In summary, Hillary Clinton's BBC interview in Berlin highlighted her concerns over what she described as a Trump administration cover-up regarding Epstein-related files. She called for the full release of documents, public hearings, and equal treatment for all individuals asked to testify. The former Secretary of State emphasized transparency, accountability, and fairness, while also addressing her own inclusion in the files and the broader political context. As congressional hearings draw near, the intersection of justice, politics, and public scrutiny will remain at the center of the Epstein investigation and its ongoing revelations. My next news is:
The UK is being colonized by immigrants who are opting to take benefits rather than work. This is a serious problem that we must address.
British comedian goes viral with satirical skit critiquing Western immigration attitudes. A viral social media skit by British comedian Pat Smith has reignited debate about immigration, assimilation, and social cohesion, highlighting tensions over the expectations placed on immigrants in Western countries. The sketch, which has attracted millions of views across multiple platforms, lampoons the idea that host countries should accommodate newcomers who accept public benefits without adopting shared societal norms. In the video, Smith portrays a caricature of a British immigrant moving to China who is culturally disengaged, openly resentful of his host society, and reliant on state support. The skit exaggerates the character's demands for accommodations that align with British cultural norms, while resisting integration into the local community. By placing a Western character in a non-Western context, Smith mirrors ongoing debates in the United Kingdom about the responsibilities of immigrants and the challenges of social cohesion. Okay, I think we can all agree everything here is a little bit too Chinese. Smith's character begins, posing in front of a green-screened image of a traditional Chinese street. Throughout the sketch, he expresses surprise and frustration at the resistance he encounters from an unseen interlocutor, presumably representing local residents. The character repeatedly insists that his host country change to suit him. I don't think you understand. I'm not from here. Okay? I left the UK because I didn't like it, alright? So, I need you to change everything to make it feel like it's the UK, he says. At the same time, he claims he cannot work due to anxiety, and repeatedly asks when he will receive financial support from the state. Smith's character proposes the creation of a British enclave within China, joking that he and fellow British expatriates could dominate a local area, vote one of their own into leadership, and dictate how the local population should live. He even suggests organizing anti-Chinese marches and requests government protection for these activities. The sketch concludes with the character acknowledging that he is in the country illegally, acting shocked at the prospect of imprisonment. The satirical video has struck a chord online, garnering over 21 million views on social media platform X, more than 1 million on TikTok, nearly 300,000 likes on Instagram, and over 11,000 comments at the time of publication. Smith told Fox News Digital that his motivation was primarily comedic rather than political. I'll be honest, I just thought it was funny. I'm not that invested in politics, but if I see an opportunity to take the piss, I'm all over it, he said. On his Instagram post accompanying the skit, Smith added, "Unfortunately, I don't have time to respond to all these comments, but I just wanted to say I have absolutely no idea how this skit relates to politics." Despite the comedian's intentions, the video has sparked discussions about cultural integration, state support for immigrants, and the responsibilities of newcomers in host countries. The sketch arrives against the backdrop of heated debate over immigration policy in the United Kingdom. The Labour government, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has recently tightened its stance on immigration in response to the growing popularity of the populist Reform UK Party, which has advocated stricter immigration controls. Protests and demonstrations against government immigration policies have taken place across the country, including gatherings in Maidstone, Kent, and at Epping Forest District Council, illustrating the political sensitivities surrounding the issue. Commentators have noted that the skit's humor lies in its inversion of expectations. A British national, accustomed to Western norms and benefits, is placed in a society with different cultural practices and assumptions. By exaggerating the character's demands for preferential treatment, the video draws attention to similar arguments frequently raised in domestic discussions about the integration of immigrants in the UK. The popularity of Smith's skit underscores the role of social media in shaping contemporary debates around immigration and culture. Viral content can amplify opinions and highlight societal tensions in ways traditional media often cannot. With millions of views across platforms, the video has reached a wide audience, prompting discussion, satire, and critique. In addition to its social media impact, the sketch has also attracted commentary from cultural and political observers. Some have praised the video for highlighting the challenges host societies face in balancing support for newcomers with the maintenance of shared norms. Others have criticized it for oversimplifying complex issues, arguing that the skit may reinforce negative stereotypes or feed into populist narratives about immigration. Pat Smith's approach to comedy, in this case, illustrates the power of satire to address contemporary social issues. By exaggerating behavior that is widely debated in the UK, the skit invites audiences to reflect on the expectations of immigrants and the responsibilities of host nations. The use of an international setting further emphasizes the universality of the questions raised, suggesting that debates about assimilation and social cohesion are not unique to the UK. The skit also demonstrates the influence of humor in public discourse. Comedy has long served as a vehicle for exploring sensitive topics, enabling creators to engage audiences with provocative ideas while maintaining a degree of detachment. In the context of immigration debates, satirical portrayals like Smith's can highlight contradictions, challenge assumptions, and provoke discussion in ways that more formal commentary cannot. Observers note that the video's reach has been facilitated by its accessibility and brevity. By delivering a concise, visually engaging skit, Smith has tapped into the mechanics of modern social media consumption, where content is shared widely and quickly. The integration of humor with social commentary has enabled the skit to transcend traditional audience boundaries, reaching viewers both inside and outside the United Kingdom. While the sketch is primarily comedic, it has inadvertently intersected with ongoing political debates. The Labour government's efforts to manage immigration policy, the rise of populist opposition parties, and public concern about cultural integration provide a contextual backdrop that shapes how the video is interpreted. The skit has become a talking point for commentators and viewers alike, illustrating the complex ways in which media, humor, and political discourse interact. The reception of Smith's work highlights the broader societal interest in questions of immigration, cultural identity, and state responsibility. Whether viewed as satire, social critique, or entertainment, the skit reflects contemporary anxieties and debates about how societies accommodate newcomers while maintaining shared norms and values. In conclusion, Pat Smith's viral skit has captured public attention by satirizing Western attitudes towards immigration and assimilation. The video, which depicts a British expatriate in China demanding cultural concessions while relying on state support, has sparked discussion across social media and in broader public discourse. While the comedian has emphasized that the skit was intended as humor rather than political commentary, it resonates with ongoing debates in the United Kingdom about immigration policy, cultural integration, and the responsibilities of host societies. With millions of views and widespread engagement, the skit demonstrates the continuing role of comedy in exploring social issues and the ways in which viral media can amplify cultural conversations. As the United Kingdom continues to navigate complex questions surrounding immigration, integration, and social cohesion, content such as Smith's skit will likely remain part of the public conversation, illustrating both the power of humor and the enduring relevance of these debates. My next news is, in the next video. I am Remi Jurmain Djalis, and this was my news of the day.
R. Kelly under investigation for possessing retired warden's phone number. He's been placed in isolation for the duration of a probe, his lawyer says. The R&B singer's troubles began with a mentor program at the prison.
R. Kelly under investigation for possessing retired warden's phone number at federal prison. R. Kelly is under investigation after prison officials discovered that he possessed the personal phone number of a retired warden at his federal lockup in North Carolina. According